Managing your own investments can seem like a smart, cost-effective decision. But as your wealth grows, so do the complexities of your financial situation, and you could be leaving money on the table. I've been coming across more do-it-yourself investors, or DIY for short, and even individuals that have a consultant attached to their 401k and they think, hey, I'm all set. Well, in today's video, I'll break down the risk of going at it alone, key financial pitfalls that many DIY investors overlook, and the benefits of working with a financial advisor. More specifically, a financial advisor that goes beyond just your investment portfolio. As always, the opinions expressed in this channel are for informational purposes only, and they're not intended to be recommendations. This video is intended to provide education about different financial planning topics and should not be taken as financial, legal, or tax advice. Whether you are a senior executive with a significant amount of your wealth tied to employer stock, let's say a small business owner looking to retire, or you're an engineer with a pension and a sizable 401k, you may be wondering if it's time to work with an advisor or just continue to do things on your own with your finances. For many people, DIY investing works really well in the early years of building wealth. If you're in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, maybe even your early 50s, you might feel confident selecting investments and allocating assets all on your own. This is known as the wealth accumulation phase. And just buying and owning diversified index funds may be all that you need to do with your investments to be successful. Your tax situation may be pretty straightforward during those years, especially if you're employed with, let's say, a W-2 job. That's not to say that you don't need help during this phase either, but as you approach retirement or you accumulate significant wealth and you get to that distribution phase, the stakes do get higher. And that's where professional guidance can make a huge difference, especially with financial planning covering areas like taxes, withdrawal strategies, estate planning, and of course, portfolio management. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, Brandon, you're an advisor. Of course you're going to say that, but don't take my word for it. Vanguard, which is known to be the hub of DIY investors, came out with a study a few years ago called Advisors Alpha that showed that a financial planner looking at not only investment allocation, but also things like rebalancing, behavioral coaching, tax-efficient withdrawals, tax loss harvesting, allocating to low-cost funds, and a few other factors actually added value of up to or even exceeding at times 3% in net returns per year. More on this and fees later on, and I've also added a link to that article in the comments section. So with that being said, what is one of the biggest risks of managing your own wealth? Well, you don't know what you don't know. And a recent conversation with a potential client highlighted this perfectly. So this person had accumulated about $40 million in assets and had been handling his own finances for years. And quite frankly, he didn't think that he needed an advisor because of all the financial success that he had accumulated by himself. But when he finally sought a second opinion, he was shocked to learn about the estate tax rules that he had completely overlooked over the years. This gap in knowledge could have cost his family and his estate hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes and attorney fees if he had passed away due to his estate being well above the estate tax exemption amount. Now, even if your estate isn't that size, there are still critical tax and financial planning strategies that can save you money and protect your legacy. The right advisor will keep you on track and make sure that you are hitting your long-term financial goals. At the end of the day, there are a lot of advisors that don't provide enough value to justify their fee. Let's say it's 1% of the assets that they're managing. As an example, have you ever gone to a doctor's office and felt like you were just another number to them? Patient number 47? Well, the same concept applies to certain types of advisors. There are so many excellent financial advisors out there, just like there are so many excellent doctors that provide so much value to their clients that the fee that they are charging is potentially an undercharge. These are usually the advisors that, in addition to your investment portfolio, focus on taxes, estate planning, withdrawal strategies, and maybe the most important, in my opinion, understanding your why to your life and to your money. That's a big reason why we started the Clark Group, so that every client that we work with, we understand on a deeper emotional level, not just surface level with their finances. And then in turn, we are more selective with who we onboard as a client. Also, when starting to engage with an advisor, always make sure that you understand the fees that are involved. An advisor that makes commissions usually is more incentivized to sell you a product versus an advisor that only gets paid by their clients, also known as potentially a fee-only advisor, either a flat fee or a percentage of the assets that they're managing. Another overlooked risk in retirement is sequence of returns risk. The closer you are to retirement, the more dangerous a market drop can be to your financial success. If you need to withdraw funds during a market downturn, you could lock in significant losses to raise funds for those distributions, making it harder for your portfolio to eventually recover from those losses. Working with an advisor helps create a strategy to mitigate these risks, ensuring that your retirement plan stays on track regardless of market conditions. Also, when these events happen, having the right guidance and advice to help avoid emotional moves can save a lot of money, potentially a lot more than whatever fee you are paying that advisor. Now, tax laws are constantly evolving, impacting everything from how much you owe to how your wealth is eventually transferred to future generations. Without expert guidance, you might miss out on opportunities to reduce your taxable estate, optimize charitable giving, or ensure that your heirs aren't left with a major tax burden. Are you taking advantage of Roth conversions? Are you tax loss harvesting in a brokerage account? Are you utilizing a donor advised fund? Are you aware of the Secure Act or TCJA and how that might impact your financial situation? Well, these are just a few of the tax topics that we do discuss with our clients to see if it does make sense for their specific situation. Now, this next element is something that we do see quite often. If you are the person managing your portfolio and finances, what happens to your wealth once you're gone? This burden falls on your spouse and your children, and you really better hope that they know what they're doing. Unfortunately, there is a common statistic in our industry that roughly 90% of wealth is lost by the third generation. Ouch. Now, our goal at the Clark Group is to help change that stat with our clients. So by building a strong relationship with a trusted advisory team, you can potentially help your family avoid this terrible statistic. Managing your own portfolio is one thing. Ensuring your family is prepared to take over your finances is another. Having an advisor involved early on can help bridge the gap with family members like children, ensuring your family understands your financial plan and is set up for long-term success. Even having the advisor and wealth management team introduced to your family, let's say well before you pass away, can help build that connection with your family before you pass. Your family will know exactly who to call and what next steps should look like for your legacy plan instead of just dealing with an 800 number. So we're all human, and with that does come behavioral biases. I've seen people that are extremely financially savvy still get very nervous during extreme market volatility while in retirement, and in turn, they've made really costly moves. Investing your own money can be a very emotional experience, even for a seasoned investor. And of course, the more money you have, the larger the swings in your portfolio value. Let's say you have $5 million and you see that drop by about 25%. Would you just feel comfortable to ride it out all by yourself during the thick of a downtrending bear market? Maybe you can, but maybe not. Market volatility can lead to panic selling, chasing trends, or even holding on to underperforming investments way too long. So having an advisor on your team provides an objective perspective, helping you avoid emotional moves that can really be costly, and then instead, you stay committed to a long-term strategy. So the more wealth you accumulate, the more complex your financial picture becomes, and the more it does make sense to potentially delegate your finances. Working with a financial advisor isn't about giving up control. It's about making informed decisions, optimizing your strategy, and protecting what you've built. Even if you aren't near or in retirement, let's say in that wealth accumulation phase, these are still good topics to think about for when you do reach that point in life and you are wondering if it makes sense to manage your own portfolio. If you're unsure whether managing your own portfolio is still the right move, especially if you are near or in retirement, let's have a conversation. You can book a call with our team using the link in the description, and we'll help you assess your financial plan and see if the right kind of professional guidance could benefit your situation. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.